Hello everybody, my name is Cyber, and welcome back to another Undertale Adventures video. Um, Today I'm doing a tier list. I thought I'd throw my hat in the ring of takes on this game and the units, and I have used quite a bit of units, or I should say all the units, quite extensively, and I know a lot about the game now. I have many units level 20. I've used them quite a bit of times. I've been a new player as well too, so I know how good these units are. I'm gonna go ahead and start the ranking with probably what I think is the worst unit in the game, and that's Rock. The reason for this is shouldn't be any surprise. All right, if you're surprised at this, I am so sorry, but like you should not be playing this game. Rock is terrible. He costs 1,000 gold to place down. He does a lot of damage, but he has super high SPA. His range gets worse as you keep upgrading him. His SPA goes down ever so slightly as he gets more damage. This guy is just not worth placing down. He's not worth investing anything into. By the time you get this guy fully upgraded, you could have every single one of these units down here fully maxed out, and probably multiple of them, right? So that's why Rock's down here. He's kind of a gimmick character. I would suggest literally never using this guy. He absolutely sucks. But anyway, let's move on to the next one, which I'm going to put Whims in C tier. Now, don't get me wrong. The guys in C tier are not bad. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying they're average compared to what's up here. Like, this is kind of standard, right? Your standard unit. You do start with Whims so I don't think he is terrible, right? He's obviously a good starter unit. He can get you through neutral and even pacifist and I mean even up till genocide. So I definitely don't think Whimsin is bad at all. It's just again, C tier doesn't really compare to the ones up here. He's 500 gold to place down, pretty cheap to upgrade, does, pretty small damage, but you can place a lot of them down and they're super cheap. So that's why I think Whimsin is there. Let's go ahead and move on to I'm going to put Luke's right here. So Luke's, in my opinion, out of all of the rares we have, I think Luke's is the worst out of them. He's 500 to place down. He's a single target unit, as all these guys right here are a single target. He is single target. He does pretty high damage and has pretty high range starting out. His SPA is super high, though. But the reason why this guy is so bad compared to the other ones is because he's a single target unit. And he just cannot compare to the amount of like devastating damage you can do to the compared to the units that are going to be up here. Again, he's 500 to place down. He's a little expensive to upgrade also, which is why I don't really think he's that good. But anyway, yeah, that's Luke's there in C tier. Pretty average. I do think he is better than Whimsin. By the way, these are going to be like, ranked in order. So I do think, obviously Whimsin's above Rock and Luke's is above Rock, but Luke's is also above Winston. And then we're going to go ahead and grab our last C tier character here, or tower, if you will, Froggit. Froggit also is actually pretty good. He's very cheap, 500 to place down, cheap to upgrade. His last upgrade is an AoE jump attack, which is very good. He has pretty like solid damage, pretty solid range, pretty solid SPA. He's all around just like a solid character, which is you know what I think. And yeah, he's just a really good starter character. Can get you through most of the acts until you get something better. And that's really all you have there in C tier. Again, these units are average, what I think are average units. None of these guys are bad. You can use all of these guys, and I won't really complain too much. They're all usable. They all have their uses. But then we're going to get into B tier, so I think these units are going to be slightly better than the ones below here. So I'm going to grab the first one, which I think is Moldsmal. Moldsmal is great. He carried me through the Genocide Act 6 when I did not have anything better. He is an AoE unit, and while he is a little expensive to upgrade, it is very much worth it. He, at his last upgrade, is an absolute killer. If you have two of these guys on the ground in Act 6 Genocide, literally nothing's getting past it, especially at level 20 with like good traits and stuff like that. I should probably mention also that I'm ranking these guys based off of like their best setups, right? So they have the best traits, the best everything, right? Because that's kind of what I use them with. Maybe not like determination level traits, but you know what I mean, like integrity, bravery, perseverance, kindness, stuff like that. I have all these guys with those kinds of traits on them. But yeah, Moldsmal right here, 500 to place down again. He's pretty good. He's a full-on AoE unit, one of the only ones in the game. Actually, the only one in the game. But yeah, this guy's pretty crazy. I would suggest using him if you don't have anything better. But let's move on to the next unit, which I think is Vegetoid. I'm going to go and place him right here. The reason I think Vegetoid is better is because although I do think he is worse before being fully upgraded, the reason this guy is so valuable is because he can hit air units. So on his final upgrade, he can hit both air units and ground units, and he also does quite a bit of damage. He's 500 to place down. He starts out with a pretty small like AoE little carrot bomb that he throws out upgrades 0 and 1. And then when he upgrades to level 2 or upgrade 2, he gets the ability to hit airs. And that is super valuable considering there is not that many air hitting characters in the game. And the ones that we do have are pretty freaking rare. So this guy is super valuable, pairs very well with Whimsin. If you have this guy in Whimsin, air units will not be a problem for you. He's also kind of cheap to upgrade, so I really like that as well. And I'm going to grab my third unit, maybe a little bit controversial, but I'm going to put my Gosp in here. He's a support character. He boosts damage by 10% on initial place down. I think he is 1,000 to place down, and then like 2,000 to upgrade, but he gets up to 15% extra damage. Not bad. I mean, I can't really say much more about this guy. He's a good buff support character. There's only one other game, but I do think the other one is actually a bit better. So I'm going to get started with that one in A tier, which is Dummy. I don't think that the range, like the difference in damage, is too substantial. And what I mean by that is I think the range cutoff or the damage cutoff for the extra 10% range is very valuable and actually very worth it. It makes your units not only hit a lot harder, but it makes them have a lot more range and have more abilities of hitting further enemies. Like, if an enemy gets further away, you can't hit them, so the 15% damage you'd get from this guy wouldn't really matter. But this guy gives them damage and range, which I think is very valuable. He's the same as Mygos, where he's 1,000 upgrade, about 2,000 to, excuse me, 1,000 to place down, and then like 2,000 to upgrade. So both of them pretty similar cost there. I don't think these guys are too far apart. Like I said, I just think the range is the better option there. Anyway, let's get on to our next unit, which I'm going to place Flowey in A tier. He is very good. He is a 7% drop unit from neutral. He is you can place him down for 500. He starts out a little weak, but that final upgrade, actually probably about upgrade 3, when he gets the AoE, he gets very strong very quickly. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like he starts out weak, but his peak is much higher than all of these guys combined. Like he can't hit airs, which is unfortunate, but he is one of the best ground hitting like AoE units in the game, and he's relatively cheap. Like I said, it is a little hard to get him up there because he is more expensive than any of these guys for sure. But once you get him up there, nothing's really getting past like this guy and maybe one more, right? So that's why I put him in A tier there. And then we have our next character, which I think is Nepstablook. This is our second hill character here. He can hit airs and grounds, and obviously he goes on the hill. He has an AoE right away. He does a lot of damage. He has a pretty high SPA compared to most, but that's not too big of an issue. He can take care of airs and ground units alike, which is why I think obviously more valuable than Flowey here. He is a bit expensive to upgrade. But I can see past that because you're not really going to use this guy until you absolutely need to. He's 800 to place down, which is a little unfortunate, but this guy pairs immensely well with Froggit for some reason. I used to run this combo a lot, and in fact, I actually used to run Nepstablook and Moldsmal combo a lot. That combo works well, very well, I should say. But anyway, yeah, Nepstablook, pretty expensive to upgrade, but he is definitely worth it. Like I said, AoE, so he slides right in there at the top of A tier. And now we finally get to our best units of the game here in S tier, which I'm going to place my first one, which I think is the worst of the S tiers. I think it's Toriel. Now, don't get me wrong. Toriel is absolutely phenomenal. She's very good. Even in the first couple of upgrades, before she gets the cone and the 300 damage, she is hitting like very hard for like 50 damage, like on Dust Sands level, type upgrade 4 or upgrade 3 type deal, right? So I think although she is the worst of the 4 I have in S tier, she is not bad. Like, she's definitely one of the best ground dealers, like damage dealers for ground units, period, right? Another drawback, though, is you can only place one of her, so you got to be smart about it. But that just makes for a better strategy, I think. And overall, she's just a very great unit. She's 500 to place down. She's relatively cheap until her last upgrade. She can even handle most ground units, or ground enemies, I should say, until her last upgrade, which is very valuable. And overall, she's just a great pick for any run, any genocide run, or anything like that. But anyway, she slides in at the bottom of S tier here. I'm going to grab my next character, which I think is, I'm going to grab Dapper. I think Dapperblook is third. This guy is crazy good. He can solo genocide on his own, right? He is, like, wild. He isn't, like, he doesn't have an AoE like Nepstablook does, but he has, like, 0.2 SPA. He's like a turret, if you will. He can take out errors. He can take out high damage enemies that move slow. He can take out literally anything. Like I said, he can literally solo genocide by himself. Even with a, like, not good stats, he can do it. He is just overall, like, crazy good. He's 500 to place down, which is less than Nepstablook. He is quite expensive to upgrade, but I understand that because he's really good, right? So he slides in there at number 3 there in S tier. Next, I have number 2 as Parsnik. Now, I think Parsnik is better than these two. And if you don't know why, I suggest you go and watch somebody use him. You either do that, get him up for yourself, and place him down and watch him cook. All right, because this guy can also solo genocide on his lonesome. I don't really think this should even be an argument. I think Parsnik is the best free unit in the game right now. Like undoubtedly, he's a 7% drop rate from Act 6 genocide. He is wild. He's wildly good. He is a single target before he gets to that AoE, but he hits hard, like hard as Toriel on his single target, like harder than Toriel on his single target. He's cheap, and when you upgrade him, he has a massive AoE, and he can hit airs. That's right. This devious little snake man, snake vegetable, can hit air units. All right, and that's why he's so valuable. Is because not only does he do like 150 damage, he hits airs, for crying out loud. His SPA is not long at all. He hits super hard. His range is super good. Honestly, I think this guy is the best free unit in the game. I don't even really think that's an argument. He is just so crazy good. Like I said, he can solo genocide on his own. He's 500 to place down, super cheap to upgrade. They made this guy very busted, but sadly, I do think Dust Sands is the best unit in the game. The reason why is because just like watch my video, or just watch any video, I think, on Dust Sands fully upgraded and stuff, and like this guy is just like ridiculous. Like he hits for 500. He has a shorter cooldown than Parsnik, like way shorter, or maybe like similar cooldown, but shorter nonetheless. He can hit the entire map. You can place 2 of them down. Like, this guy is absolutely ridiculous. I do not think he is overrated. I do not think he is underrated. I think he is perfectly the best unit in the game. I see a lot of people underrate him or call him not good, which is just not true. He does cost 1,000, so you do got to get one of these other guys out there to get him out first. But, like, once you get the ball rolling with this guy, he needs one of himself to solo. All of these other guys, you need like 2 of them. Like, you definitely need 2 Parsniks. You definitely need 2 Dapperblooks. You can't even solo Toriel. This guy can do it on his own. All right, once you get one of them out and you fully upgrade him, he can do it all on his lonesome in Act 6 Genocide. Like I said, he is 1,000 to place down, so you do need, like, probably Dapperblook is your best, his best buddy here. But like, this guy at his peak is undoubtedly way, 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 way better than any other of these units, no doubt. The only reason he's actually in this tier, I don't think he even gaps the rest of the game. I mean, he kind of he does gap the rest of the game, but I don't think he gaps Parsnik because The trade-off between these two is very similar. This guy is single target to start out, but he's very cheap. This guy is expensive at first, but he is AoE and he hits hard right away, right? So I do think that Dust Sands is the best. Pretty obviously, I think he is like on a whole nother level than the rest of the game. Um, but so he slides into S there, very comfortable S. Again, I don't really think it's an argument. I think he is perfectly good where he is. But anyway, that's about it. Let me know what you guys think. This is my tier list. Again, we got Rock at F tier, Whims, Lukes, and Froggit sliding in at C tier here, Moldsmal, Vegetoid, and my Gosp in B tier. We also got Dummy, Flowey, and Nepstablook at A tier, and then we of course have Toriel, Dapper, Parsnik, and Dust Sands Ruins, or Ruins Dust Sands in S tier here. So that's kind of my take on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm having a lot of fun playing this game. If you want to play it for yourself, I will leave it in the link in the description. If you want to join the Discord server for the game, I will also leave that in the link in the description. Thank you all so much for watching. By the way, disclaimer, I should just say, I should have said this at the beginning, but this is just my opinion, okay? If you like one of these characters more, then they're better in your mind, then that's absolutely okay. If you like Dapper, you think he's better than Parsnik, I'm not going to get mad at that, right? This is just my opinion from my experience in using these characters. I've seen a lot of people underrate these two right here, like call them bad, which I absolutely do not think is the case. I think these two are perfect where they are right now. In fact, I probably could slide them above my Gosp because he is just a support character, but I won't. I'll keep it as it is right now. Anyway, y'all, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video.